And in my own experience, things would just disappear. If you didn't hold on to them, people would take them and so on.
If Donald Trump is the president of the United States, then Robert De Niro will be the president of Hollywood. With parts as heroes, gangsters, and renowned gangsters, he has established himself as a monument to acting in the city that is the capital of film. Nevertheless, that is not the only thing that can be said about De Niro. In real life, Robert De Niro has almost reached the level of a true godfather, as he is wealthy and powerful in his own right, thanks to his genius and excellent money-making skills. Forget about the sophisticated, wealthy, and dangerous mafia characters that he portrays on screen. When it comes to taking leadership of the financial game and amassing fortune in a spectacular manner, Robert De Niro has demonstrated that it is not necessary to have a gun or to chase someone like in the movies. It is a common misconception that getting older indicates you have passed your prime. Robert De Niro is still quite active, taking pleasure in the company of young women and taking pleasure in his luxurious lifestyle. In contrast to some men who are 80 years old and are either enduring the hardships of nursing homes or meeting their maker. Because everything is so similar to old movies, his existence appears to be a nightmare. To put it into perspective, how much cash does this godfather have in his possession? In the video that we are going to see today, we will give you an answer that will take you by surprise. On the 17th of August, 1943, Robert De Niro was born in Greenwich Village, New York, into a family of artists who were members of the working class. Robert De Niro Sr., his father, was an acclaimed abstract painter, and Virginia Admiral, his mother, was also a painter and poet. Both of his parents were known for their artistic abilities. Before he became a powerful figure in Hollywood, Robert De Niro was a shy and introverted youngster who preferred to retreat into books and movies rather than engage with other people. The movies and books were his escape. It is possible that he remained a calm youngster. Nonetheless, the divorce of his parents when he was only 2 years old significantly altered the path that his life would take from that point forward. He took part in his first school play when he was 10 years old, and ever since then, Robert has considered himself to be a person who is committed to the arts. The door is open. Instead of participating in traditional activities such as going to school and playing sports when he was a teenager, Robert De Niro chose to pursue a career in acting instead. To be more specific, he made the courageous choice to drop out of high school and embark on a career as an actor, which marked the beginning of an exciting journey. Due to the fact that he was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to take acting workshops with illustrious instructors such as Stella Adler and Lee Strasberg, he was able to benefit from divine providence. He gained the ability to discard his bashful character and embrace the deeply contemplative and powerful roles that would come to define his later career as a result of his interactions with them. However, the story of Robert De Niro's acting career contains more than just formal instruction. Acting was not something he learned from books. Rather, he learned directly from life itself. Because he spent his childhood in the tiny Italy area, he was able to thoroughly immerse himself in the spirit of New York City during the 1950s and 1960s. His school consisted of the winding alleys that were tight and old, the fast-paced pizza restaurants, and the boisterous pubs. As a result, the debate arises as to whether Robert De Niro was born with an intrinsic creative aptitude or whether America was the driving force behind his development into the outstanding actor he is today. In spite of the fact that the precise solution is still a mystery, there is one reality that cannot be refuted. Robert De Niro is a unique gift that God has bestowed onto the world of film. Does Robert De Niro have a career? If you believe that this is merely a basic cinematic excursion, then you should fasten your seatbelts, because this is a roller coaster ride that is not for those who are easily frightened. Beginning as a timid young child known as Bobby Milk, Robert De Niro has blossomed into one of the most accomplished actors in the history of the world. His acting career is not only comprised of a string of great roles, but it is also a narrative of how a person undergoes a transformation from a violent mobster to a comical father on screen. Beginning in the 1970s, Robert De Niro's adventure began when he gained the attention of filmmaker Martin Scorsese, who would go on to become his ideal partner in the film industry. What brought De Niro to the notice of the public was his performance in the film Mean Streets, which was released in 1973. However, it was his portrayal of the troubled cab driver in the film Cab Driver, which was released in 1976, that truly dealt a devastating blow to the film industry. What are you saying to me? In that age, the iconic line that Robert De Niro delivered in his role as Travis Bickle became a cultural icon. Who would have thought that the timid and careful young boy of the past could develop into such a lonesome and demented figure, standing in front of a mirror and having a conversation with himself in such a manner? Following the release of Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro's career reached new heights. Raging Bull, a film that depicts the life of boxing star Jake LaMotta, provided him with the opportunity to win an Academy Award in 1980 for his legendary performance in the film. Hollywood was awestruck by the incredible transformation that Robert De Niro experienced in order to perfectly inhabit this part. He gained over 30 kilos of weight. That is correct. You did hear that correctly. He actually consumed himself to the point where he was practically unable to recognize himself. Acting is not the only thing that Robert De Niro does. He lives the role. If you were to claim that acting is not merely an art form for him, you could say that it is a type of sport that is extremely difficult. Don't be fooled into thinking that Robert De Niro is only a beast in cinema when he plays characters that are fierce and heavyweight. In the 1990s, he startled audiences by entering the world of humor with his appearance in Analyze This, in which he played a mafia boss who was seeking therapy. It was 1999. De Niro caused half of the United States of America to chuckle uncontrollably. The fact that De Niro was able to create such a contrasting yet funny portrayal was something that no one could have predicted. A feat that can only be accomplished by Robert De Niro is the ability to flourish in both the comic and serious realms, while also being able to weave them together flawlessly. De Niro is like a Formula One racing car. He never stops driving forward and makes drift turns that would be unfathomable. Not only does he make the audience laugh, but he also dresses in the ruthless garb of a figure employed by the mafia. The Irishman, which was released in 2019, is his return to the film industry. It is a picture that marks a reunion with Scorsese and serves as a magnificent ode to the golden age of gangster movies. Even though he is in his 70s, Robert De Niro is able to provide a performance that is not only effective but also profoundly emotional. This demonstrates that he is not merely a legend of a bygone period, but rather a legend for all time. In addition to being a legendary figure in the world of Hollywood, Robert De Niro is also known as the underworld real estate mogul of the celebrity world. If you believe that acting is the only avenue through which he makes money, you are gravely mistaken. At this time, it is estimated that Robert De Niro's net worth is somewhere around $500 million. No, $500 million is correct. That's exactly what you heard. With this sum, Robert De Niro would be able to effortlessly submerge himself in a sea of wealth like a genuine mafia boss. Not only does Robert De Niro gain financial success via his work in great films, but he is also an astute real estate investor. It is possible for Robert De Niro to throw an outdoor party any place he wants, from opulent resorts to opulent apartments in New York City as well. The first item on the list is the spectacular penthouse that Robert De Niro owns, which is situated in the very center of Manhattan, New York. It is not just a regular apartment. Rather, it is a high-rise castle that offers breathtaking views of the most expensive city in the world. This condominium, which is priced at approximately $25 million, is equipped with everything that a wealthy could ever hope for. A private elevator, a living room that is sufficiently wide, and, of course, a private pool on the rooftop. Can you even fathom it? Rather than swimming in a public pool like the rest of us, Robert De Niro may relax and take in the majestic view of the skyline of Manhattan without a concern in the world. In the event that you believe that New York is the sole location where Robert De Niro has established his real estate empire, you are mistaken. In addition, he is the owner of an extremely luxurious property in Beverly Hills, which is residence to a large number of prominent people. The price of this home is over $18 million, and it contains everything that one could ever want. A tennis court, an infinity pool, a home cinema, and a garage that is large enough to accommodate a collection of supercars that would make you feel as though you have stumbled into a luxury vehicle show are all features that are included in this home. Aside from that, He is also a co-founder of the well-known global Nobu restaurant chain, which is a place where wealthy customers wait in line merely to try sushi that is of the highest quality. Investing is something that this man never quits doing. In addition to being a king of the movie, Robert De Niro is also a godfather of the world of finance due to the enormous amount of money that he has amassed. Do you happen to know what Robert De Niro is doing at the moment? In response, the explanation is that he is living a lavish lifestyle and continuing to amass fortune in a manner that no one can foresee. Not only is Robert De Niro a talented actor, but he also has a taste for spending money that is equally as fashionable as his professional acting abilities. It would appear that the money he has gained from producing iconic films and making astute investments is not sufficient for him. It is necessary for him to spend like a real boss. Are you prepared to enter the opulent world of Robert De Niro, where the prices of his things will cause you to exclaim, "Wow, how does he spend money so well?" De Niro may not be a well-known race car driver, but he surely has a lot of toys that would make any person who is passionate about automobiles green with envy. His collection of supercars includes Rolls-Royce, Bentleys, and even a few Ferraris that are gleaming with luster, and the overall value of his collection is greater than $3 million. A car that is worth as much as a mansion might easily provide Robert De Niro with the opportunity to feel the excitement of racing around the city if he so desired. If you ever come across a man who is driving a Rolls-Royce Phantom that is worth more than $450,000, you may be sure that he is Robert De Niro. When it comes to displaying a star's money and luxury, nothing is more impressive than the ownership of a magnificent yacht. Naturally, Robert De Niro did not deviate from this pattern in any way. As the owner of a yacht with a worth of $12 million, he is able to escape the glaring limelight and unwind while surrounded by the water. On this yacht, Robert De Niro has a luxurious master suite, a sunbathing deck, and of course, a private pool where he can relax in the water without the fear of paparazzi prying into his personal space. Even the gorgeous women in his life are safe from prying eyes, so he is able to engage in playful interactions with them. Only Robert De Niro would be able to pull off the feat of resting on a boat worth many millions of dollars as if it were his own house. De Niro has always had a strong interest in painting, and he was raised in a family where both of his parents were artists. In order to decorate his castles, he was willing to spend money on beautiful paintings and sculptures because of this consideration. It is estimated that Robert De Niro's art collection is worth more than $10 million, and it contains works by some of the most well-known artists in the world. Any person who pays a visit to his residence will be astonished to find not only well-known paintings up on the walls, but also rare works of art that are only attainable by those who are billionaires. Despite the fact that De Niro is not the type of person to show off his goods, the watches and gems that he owns are quite spectacular. Given that he is a person who has hundreds of millions of dollars in his pocket, it is not surprising that he has a large number of watches from prominent brands such as Rolex, Patek Philippe, and Audemars Piguet. It is more than $1 million for these items. The beautiful items that we wear on our bodies are nothing more than jewelry, but when they are donned by Robert De Niro, they symbolize an infinite amount of money. His controversies, Robert De Niro has lived a life that is full of excitement on screen, but in real life he has also been through a lot of turmoil. Concern among the general public has been raised by a series of instances and charges that are tied to one another. I invite you to accompany me as we zoom in on the blazing dramas, tragedies, and turmoil that surround this strong guy. It seems as though the line between a fantastic profession and a terrible personal life is becoming increasingly blurry. A name that was relatively unknown to the public suddenly appeared in the headlines toward the end of 2019, which was the beginning of everything. Graham Chase Robinson, who had previously worked as a personal assistant and executive assistant for Robert De Niro's production firm, Canal Productions, has filed a complaint against him, alleging a number of alarming things. Robinson claims that not only was De Niro an unpleasant boss, but he also engaged in harassing and insulting behavior against staff, particularly women, when she was working for him. Robinson stated that this behavior was especially prevalent among women. Graham asserted that De Niro treated her as if she were a personal servant by requesting that she carry out responsibilities that were not within the purview of an executive assistant. These responsibilities included purchasing underwear, buttoning his shirts, and even rubbing his back. Indeed, you did hear that correctly. In this context, we are discussing one of the most legendary figures in Hollywood, who appears to have a pattern of insisting that his helpers perform the duties of a contemporary king. The fact that De Niro is also accused of slinging insults and calling Graham a bee-bull and a brat is, however, the most ludicrous and humorous aspect of the situation. Considering this, one can't help but see Robert De Niro in the role of a villain in his own life, complete with iconic words such as "you're a liability." The one and only major difference is that there is no camera present to record everything. Would it be possible for you to believe that Robert De Niro, the actor who portrayed the mafia in a film, would choose to remain silent in the face of these allegations? Obviously, that is not the case. Almost immediately, De Niro responded by filing a countersuit. According to him, Robinson stole money from the company by taking advantage of the trust and power that he had. Robinson is accused of using tens of thousands of dollars from Canal Productions for his own personal purposes, including extravagant shopping sprees and lavish trips, as stated in the claims. According to De Niro, Robinson also used corporate funds to buy expensive plane tickets and even indulged in opulent meals at top-tier restaurants. De Niro makes this accusation in addition to other allegations. As far as he is concerned, this is an obvious instance of fraud that he is unable to forgive, and he is resolved to pursue payback by filing a further lawsuit. There is no sign of an end in sight for the court struggle that has broken out between the two sides, which is full of drama and mystery. If one were to discuss the drama that Robert De Niro has experienced without discussing his controversial love life, this would be a significant mistake. It is not surprising that the man who has made a great number of women drool on television has also had a romantic life that is just as turbulent off-screen. Throughout his life, Robert De Niro has been through a number of scandalous extramarital affairs, in addition to 2 legitimate marriages. Over the course of many years, his relationship with Grace Hightower, who is his second wife, has been a source of intense interest. At the beginning of their marriage, it appeared to be quiet and cheerful. However, in 2018, they filed for divorce, and that was the moment when everything began to fall apart. With both parties constantly accusing one another in the media, the news surrounding the divorce of De Niro and Hightower reads like an intense romantic novel. Both parties will continue to accuse each other. De Niro asserts that Hightower is a woman who is hungry for power and who is attempting to exert control over his life as well as the income of the family. On the other hand, Hightower asserts that Robert De Niro is a cold and insensitive spouse who does not treat his family with respect and even has extramarital affairs. De Niro has also been rumored to have romantic relationships with a number of other stunning young female stars, including models and actors. This is in addition to the things that have been mentioned above. In light of his fame, he has consistently been the focus of attention from the media and has frequently been seen in the company of mysteriously beautiful women. It's possible that Robert De Niro's love life is just as passionate as the fights he portrays on the big screen. Even though Robert De Niro is well known for his talent, he has also been subjected to a great deal of criticism for the way he lives his life. The assertion that Robert De Niro is a workaholic to the point of obsession is made by a few sources. For extremely insignificant causes, he has the ability to yell, shout, and even fire employees. A great number of people have the impression that he is a challenging and powerful boss who is always looking for things to go his way. In addition to being a force to be reckoned with in the entertainment industry, Robert De Niro is also a shrewd player in the financial world. He has made a number of astute investments, including in the well-known Nobu restaurant chain and extremely lucrative real estate ventures. Everyone who believes that Robert De Niro is exclusively talented in acting should reconsider their beliefs. Not only is he an actor, but he is also a co-founder of the restaurant chain Nobu, which is known all over the world, and a shareholder in the company. There is no doubt that you did not miss this opportunity. Robert De Niro has entered the realm of high-end cuisine and has made millions of dollars from the sushi restaurant. Where exactly did the story start? Though, even if it is not as romantic or exquisite as a party at Nobu, It is in keeping with the Hollywood approach and is packed with shocks and drama. During the 1990s, Robert De Niro had the opportunity to meet the well-known chef Nobuyuki Nobu Matsuhisa at a little eatery in Los Angeles. Almost immediately, De Niro became a tremendous lover of the superb Japanese cuisine that Nobu serves. Rather than merely being a contented client, De Niro had a more expansive perspective, establishing Nobu as a culinary powerhouse on a worldwide scale. As a result of De Niro's effort, Nobu decided to establish a new restaurant in New York City, which marked the beginning of the Nobu restaurant franchise, which today has locations all over the world. This restaurant chain is a symbol of luxury in Japanese cuisine, and its menu is so excessively pricey that it is almost unfathomable. In the Nobu chain, it is common knowledge that Robert De Niro owns shares worth approximately $20 million. If you want to have lunch here, you should remember to carry a large wallet with you because the price of a sushi supper at Nobu can easily range anywhere from $150 to $500. This transforms Nobu into more than just a restaurant. It also becomes a destination for wealthy individuals who are looking to spend a lot of money on a dinner. Nobu thrived as a result of the financial support and influence provided by De Niro, and it eventually became one of the most well-known high-end culinary brands on the entire planet. Every Nobu restaurant, from London and Paris to Dubai and Tokyo, is a magnet for wealthy and famous diners. And Mr. De Niro, who is an actor-turned-restaurant entrepreneur, receives a portion of the cash that is generated by these patrons. As of right now, Nobu has more than 50 locations across the globe, and it is continuing to grow. However, what is even more admirable is the extraordinary amount of money that De Niro makes from it. It is common knowledge that the Nobu restaurant business brings in sales amounting to millions of dollars each and every year. In addition, it goes without saying that Robert De Niro does not receive a mere bite-sized piece of sushi for his role as a co-founder. The fact that he is able to make tens of millions of dollars from his share is evidence that Nobu has become a true golden goose for Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro has demonstrated that he is not just a successful businessman through the establishment of his restaurants, but also a driven and ambitious real estate investor. Over the course of the past few years, Robert De Niro has made investments in a number of huge real estate projects in New York City, where the cost of land is comparable to that of gold. A shrewd individual like as Robert De Niro, of course, recognized the possibilities of this very early on. Greenwich Hotel, located in the Tribeca neighborhood of New York City, is one of the most well-known projects that Robert De Niro has ever worked on. Not only is it an extremely expensive hotel for celebrities, but it is also a component of a bigger strategy that Robert De Niro has laid out to transform Tribeca into one of the most prosperous neighborhoods in the city, and he was successful in doing so. At the Greenwich Hotel, each room radiates a sense of stepping into another universe, where luxury is precisely sculpted in every aspect. This is due to the fact that the hotel has made an investment of approximately $50 million. It is important to remember that the hotel is also well known for its underground pool, luxurious spa, and Locanda Verde restaurant, all of which were selected by Robert De Niro personally. As a matter of fact, the cost of each and every meal, including snacks, might easily amount to several $100s. Today, Tribeca is well known not just for the Greenwich Hotel, but also for the Tribeca Film Festival, which is a major event that was established by Robert De Niro himself. Property values in this region skyrocket as a result of the increasing number of movie stars, producers, and film enthusiasts who move here each year. A truly astute move on the part of the employer. This is not the end of De Niro's work. Additionally, he is the owner of a large number of commercial buildings and luxury apartments located all across the city of New York, all of which generate significant profits. If you see a new building being constructed in Manhattan, you shouldn't be surprised if it's one of the investments that Robert De Niro has made. He is skilled in the selection of projects, the development of a brand, and the generation of considerable additional value for the region. The success that Robert De Niro has had in making money from Nobu and real estate is not the result of fortunate circumstances. The reason for this is that he is incredibly keen and has the capacity to recognize opportunities at an early stage. However, rather than concentrating just on the film sector, which generates a substantial but unreliable income. He broadened the scope of his investments to include other fields, which provided him with a steady stream of revenue. In order to promote various commercial endeavors, De Niro utilized his own popularity. When an A-list celebrity such as him made an appearance at Nobu or any other event relating to real estate, it not only raised the value of the project but also attracted the attention of the general public. He established his name as a commercial brand, a brand that is successful not only in the film industry but also in the culinary and real estate industries. In reality, Robert De Niro has been able to transform his life into a great business movie, in which profits play the starring role and he is the director of the film. This is a fact. Moreover, it goes without saying that the conclusion of this film is going to be a happy ending, at least for his money account. Not only is Robert De Niro a Hollywood great who is famous for his iconic parts, but he also has a personal life that is just as dramatic as his performances on screen. In the entertainment industry, his second marriage to Grace Hightower has been the subject of a great deal of speculation and scandal. The complicated nature of their relationship, which ultimately led to their divorce, has been as captivating as a romantic comedy that also includes power battles. Grace Hightower and Robert De Niro tied the knot in the year 1997. At first glance, it appeared to be a charming love tale between a well-known actor and a flight attendant. On the other hand, comparable to the majority of Hollywood dramas, their marriage rapidly became a battleground. In spite of the fact that they had filed for divorce in 1999, which was only 2 years after they had tied the knot, they unexpectedly reconciled and continued to live together for nearly 20 more years. Could it be considered a genuine reconciliation, or was it really a lengthy compromise? It appeared like the solution was disclosed when Robert De Niro filed for divorce once more in the year 2018. Despite this, the story did not come to a conclusion with their parting. The couple's divorce became one of the most well-reported cases in Hollywood as a result of a string of disagreements regarding their respective financial situations. When money, assets, and reputation are involved, the drama just becomes more intense, as is to be expected. There are reports that Robert De Niro is experiencing financial issues, as reported by The Mirror. In order for the actor to be able to pay for his estranged wife Grace Hightower's pocket money, he needs to work extremely hard and take on every project that comes his way. Caroline Krauss, who represents Robert De Niro, stated that Grace Hightower is a devotee of branded clothes and has the ability to spend up to $200,000 on a credit card within a single month. Additionally, the amount of cash that Ms. Hightower spends on a monthly basis is equal to $160,000. For a long time, Grace Hightower has been notorious for her expensive methods of purchasing. In the past, she purchased a diamond ring for a total of $1, $2 million simply because she liked it. It is speculated that she has been increasing the amount of money that she spends in recent times. The court ordered Robert De Niro to pay Hightower $1 million annually during the course of their divorce. This was in light of the fact that Hightower had an annual income of more than $15 million. Additionally, the couple is in the process of dividing their joint assets, which includes a mansion that is valued at $20 million. Additionally, they are having difficulty reaching a consensus regarding financial support and child custody for their daughter, who is 9 years old. Robert De Niro, who is 77 years old, has a passion for performing and the film industry. On the other hand, my client does not deserve to be in a situation where he is required to work very hard, even at the advanced age that he is currently. At what point will he be allowed to decline film projects that he is not genuinely interested in? When will he be able to cease working for a total of 6 days per week and 12 hours per day instead? Mr. Robert De Niro's attorney showed his dissatisfaction by saying that everything was done for the sole purpose of supporting Ms. Hightower's exorbitant demands for luxury products. In reaction to the complaints, Grace Hightower asserts that her ex-husband has a propensity to spend an excessive amount of money. As evidence, she demonstrates that Robert De Niro frequently spends an exorbitant amount of money on a variety of hobbies. Kevin McDonough, the attorney for Hightower, provided evidence showing Robert De Niro spent $450,000 on a summer rental, $150,000 on a Thanksgiving holiday, and $1 million on his adult children over the period of 2019 through 2020. When one considers that Robert De Niro is reported to have a net worth of $500 million, it is difficult to imagine that he is experiencing financial troubles. At the moment, actor Robert De Niro lives in his own residence in New York, United States of America, as part of the terms of their divorce settlement. De Niro is obligated to purchase a new residence for Hightower for the purpose of assisting her in settling down. A challenge has been presented to the judge as a result of this high-profile divorce, which has attracted the attention of the media. The figures involved in this divorce are far beyond what 99% of the world's population would ever experience. We truly want both parties to finalize the divorce proceedings, so they can go their separate ways. Both Robert De Niro and Grace Hightower are significantly wealthier than most people on this planet. That is an undeniable fact. Judge Matthew Cooper, who presides at the Supreme Court of Manhattan, New York, and is directly handling this expensive divorce case, stated that the figures involved in this divorce are far beyond what this divorce would ever experience. In order to minimize this amount, he and his team of attorneys had to argue for it, arguing that his revenue from film ventures had fallen due to his age. While everything is going on, Hightower continues to maintain that she is entitled to a portion of the assets because she has been by De Niro's side for such a long period of time. In the end, it appears like the divorce between Robert De Niro and Grace Hightower has been resolved. Yet, there are undoubtedly still echoes that continue to linger. Their narrative is a classic illustration of how money can turn a marriage into a struggle for survival, as it includes a variety of conflicts ranging from those involving money and reputation to those concerning child custody. In the realm of show business, is that the price that must be paid to become rich and famous? Many times, Robert De Niro has pondered the question, is it all worth it? Due to the fact that he has a fortune of hundreds of millions of dollars, it is quite unlikely that De Niro is concerned about becoming bankrupt following the divorce. However, it is undeniable that the event has left a significant imprint on his personal life. It is possible that Robert De Niro may never forget this important lesson about love and money, despite the fact that he has been through a lot of hard times. There are two things that have the potential to take a person to incredible heights, but at the same time, they can easily bring them down to the lowest point in minutes. In spite of the fact that De Niro's romantic relationships are complicated, he is nonetheless a loving and exceptionally fortunate father. He not only has a great deal of wealth, but he also has a large number of children. Drana, who is 57 years old, and Raphael, who is 48 years old, are the names of the two children that Robert De Niro has with his first wife, Deanne Abbott. Later on, he turned out to be the father of twins named Julian and Aaron, who are now 29 years old. However, there was never a marriage between him and his companion, Toukie Smith. During the course of their relationship, the actor tied the knot with his second wife, Grace Hightower, in 1997. Together, they are the parents of two children, Elliot, who is now 26 years old, and Helen Grace, who is 12 years old. Even though he was 81 years old, he was overjoyed to know that he was going to have his seventh daughter with Tiffany Chen, who is a director of martial arts. It is indisputable that Robert De Niro is a talented and influential figure in the entertainment world, despite the fact that he is the subject of a great deal of controversy. No matter what takes place, it appears like people are unable to tear their gaze away from him. When every facet of a person's private life is pushed into the spotlight and scrutinized by the general public, it is possible that this is the price that comes and goes with celebrity. A world full of drama, humor, and comedy is what Robert De Niro's life is all about. It is not just about the stage lights, renowned prizes, and legendary parts that he has played throughout his life. A world that is rife with drama, where scandals and vices appear to continually accompany every step that is taken. Perhaps, for someone who has portrayed characters whose lives have been tragic and conflicted, Robert De Niro himself may be living in a movie of his own. A movie that does not have a script or a director but is full of conflicts and turbulence. Regarding the life of Robert De Niro, what are your thoughts? Please don't hesitate to provide your feedback in the comments section below. Please remember to subscribe to the channel in order to receive further fascinating information about famous people. At this time, farewell.